Jayo Girivaradari, Jayo Girivaradari, Jaya Gopijanavalabha, Jayo Girivaradari, Yashodanandana Vrajavinoda Yashodanandana Vrajavinoda Yamunatira Vanachari Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajavinoda Yashodanandana Vrajavinoda Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. जय श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की जय, जय श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की, जय श्री श्री गौर निताय की, नरसिंह भगवान की, जय श्री प्रभुपाद की, जय श्री गुरुदेव की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया, भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome to the second part of the prayers of Nalakuvera and Manigriva. So we are going through the 10th canto, chapter 10. We covered texts 1 to 23 yesterday. So the remaining verses we'll cover today. So we will give a quick recap of what we did yesterday. So basically, we all know Damodar's story. And yesterday was how the Nalakuvera and Manigriva, sons of Kubera, became trees, Yamalarjuna trees. And how Narad Muni actually cursed them, we discussed yesterday. So the cursing part is finished. Now the blessing part. How they get, how the Nalakuvera and Manigriva gets transformed and how they are getting blessed by Lord Damodara, we'll cover today. So basically let's give a quick summary of what we are going to see and then go text by text. So basically, now Narad Muni has seen these two sons of demigods, sons of Kuvera, in the Ganges, playing with young girls, being intoxicated. So he found that they were not really in a proper state. They were not in the particular mode where they can identify themselves as sons of Kuvera. They didn't know what to do. And they even didn't recognize that a sage was walking by, and then they didn't offer their respects. Instead, they showed themselves naked and they were playing with young girls, and they were very, very intoxicated. So Narad Muni, to teach them, these young boys or the sons of Kuvera, a lesson, he actually cursed them to become trees, Yamalarjuna trees, particularly in the backyard of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maya. And so they get an opportunity to see Krishna face to face. So behind the curse, there was also a blessing. So Narad Muni actually told them that, see, you will stay there as trees, but at some point you will get a chance to see Krishna face to face. And usually trees doesn't have much consciousness, but Narad Muni actually blesses them to have a celestial or demigod consciousness where they realize what they have done and why they got this punishment. So over a period of years where they are standing as trees, they are able to understand why they have been given this punishment. And they did recognize and they did repent for what they have done. And they would expect that Krishna will come and see them to deliver them day in and day out, because they are just in the backyard, but Krishna wouldn't come just like that, right? So every day they would repent for what they have done, and slowly all their false pride and their ego would have got reduced, and now they would have been very humble. And one day Krishna appears, and that's when this Damodar Leela happens. We all know how Damodar Leela happens in Vrindavan. So it is particularly on the day of Diwali that Lord Krishna wakes up and he's hungry. He reaches out to Mother Yashoda and he asks for milk, and then Mother Yashoda also lovingly takes the little boy and then offers her breast milk. And then we all know what happens. So suddenly she finds that she has left the milk boiling, and because that was also prepared for Krishna, she actually leaves Krishna now down, and then she rushes to fetch that particular pot of milk and try to save it from overflowing. But in turn, Krishna here, he is very upset. How can Mother Yashoda leave me like this and go in the floor? And he's like angry and crying, and he could see that in his eyes, and he doesn't want to stay there anymore. So now he's like, okay, I'm going to show mom what I can do. And then he rushes out and he wants to pick some stick, and he's finding what to hit, and then he finally finds this butter pot hanging from the ceiling. And so many, I mean, you know, right? They don't do one or two batches, they keep lots, and then lots of butter pots was hanging. It was very easy for him to hit with a stick and then get all the butter down. Everything fell down, and then half of what he ate and half of what he threw to the monkey friends, and some of his friends were also there. So they were exchanging butter balls, and then the whole place was becoming very messy. So now you can see that this boy, small boy, but how much he can play tantrums and he can get annoy his mom. So then he realizes, okay, Mother Yashoda, let her come. It's okay. She left me and went, no, so I'm taking revenge on her kind of mentality. I mean, Krishna, he can do whatever he wants. So Mother Yashoda now comes, and she's searching for Krishna wherever she left, but she couldn't find him. And now she's like, okay, what has happened? Where is Krishna? She searches here, there, and finally finds him where the butter was hanging, and then the whole place was a mess, and she gets so angry. She reaches out to him, and then Krishna knows what she's going to do, and then he also runs away. So Krishna is running, Yashoda Maya is also running. Both of them have a competition now. Who's going to catch who? There's no way that Krishna is going to, slow down. Krishna is a very small boy. He's very active. He's running around, and Mother Yashoda is like, when am I going to catch him? She's actually, her hairs and all have loosened, and she's perspiring, like going after Krishna. She couldn't catch little Krishna because he's around this 3-4 years old. So the naughtiness is at its peak. So you can understand. And Krishna thought after some time, Yashoda Maya was also very tired after going behind Krishna. So Krishna also thought, okay, mom is getting very tired, so let me actually slow down and give in. So he does give in to Yashoda Maya. He just says, okay, catch me, mom. And then Yashoda Maya catches, and then she thinks like, okay, I've caught Krishna now I have to teach him a lesson. Okay, let me take Krishna to be somewhere and give him a proper punishment. The thing is, she's understood now, Krishna has made her run so much. Now again, she doesn't want the same thing to happen. So she wants to bind him to something. So she's taking a rope and then binding him to a wooden grinding mortar. So when she was trying to bind Krishna, there was 2 fingers short. She couldn't actually bind Krishna, and she's asking for more ropes, and then the gopis are giving more ropes, and again she's trying to bind Krishna, and again it's not possible to bind Krishna. Again 2 fingers too short. So why is that? We all know, Acharyas also explain that it is 2 things which would actually be helpful to bind Krishna. One is that a devotee should endeavor to catch Krishna, and other thing is that Krishna should accept, or Krishna should allow the devotee to bind him. So when these 2 things are happening, he loves Mother Yashoda and Mother Yashoda loves him. So now there's an agreement. Okay, Krishna says, okay, tie me, it's fine. And then she binds Krishna to the wooden grinding mortar. And then she says, okay, now that I'm satisfied, now he's going to stay at home and he will do whatever is supposed to be done. He will not do any naughtiness. Now I can go and do my chores. So she goes off to do her daily things. Krishna standing there, he was thinking what to do next. Okay, I am standing now stuck to this wooden grinding motor, and he's actually looking through the garden, his backyard. And in the garden he found that there was Yamalarjuna trees, which is twin trees growing like this, and it's very huge. He's saying, now that I am stuck like this, I am not being able to move. I'm finding these trees are not being able to move, and that too for hundreds of years it's been stuck like this. How is it possible? So he's feeling the pain, so he's also understanding how much pain the tree is also going through. Then he thought, okay, let me see. And he also remembered, okay, Narad Muni has told something to him. So he also thought, okay, let me go visit this Yamalarjuna tree. And then he crawls, pulling this wooden grinding motor along with him to the backyard. And then he goes close to the Yamalarjuna trees. And the trees are actually very strong and old, and it's like so many years it's been there, right? And then Nalakuvera and Manigriva are like very happy. Krishna has come to save us. Krishna has come to deliver us. Oh my God, maybe today is the day. Let's see what's happening. Krishna actually goes through these trees. He's trying to pull this wooden grinding motor, and then this grinding motor turns crosswise, and it actually stuck between the two trees, and he was able to pull the tree apart. And from the two trees come two effulgent great personalities. Who are they? Nalakuvera and Manigriva. They were like, in one way they were very happy, but as soon as they saw this little Krishna, they paid their obeisances and they thanked the Supreme Personality of Godhead to their heart content, and then they sing the glories of little Krishna. And now he is Damodar, he is bound by ropes, right? Damodar Krishna. And then they offer all their prayers, and then they submit themselves to the Lord. And Krishna also reciprocates by offering some blessings. And thus the story ends by Krishna delivering Nalakuvera and Manigriva and sending them back. So this is like a quick summary of what we will be discussing today. And now we'll be going verse by verse, and we'll be finding what sort of prayers that they offered to this Krishna. And we're going to start with text 24. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, to fulfill the truthfulness of the words of the greatest devotee Narada, slowly went to that spot where the twin Arjuna trees were standing. So this is the time where he is slowly crawling towards that spot where they were left, where the trees were there. Although these two young men are the sons of very rich Kuvera, and I have nothing to do with them, Devarishi Narada is my dear and affectionate devotee, and therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their deliverance. So in this verse, we can under these 24 and 25, we will find a reason of why Krishna reached out to the Yamalarjuna trees, and for what purpose we will know. It is for delivering Nalakuvera and Manigriva also. And why did he do that? Because it was a request that was made by Narada. And Narada is a devotee of Lord Krishna. And what sort of devotee? He's very high class devotee, a pure devotee. Yeah. So that's why Krishna would also accept this request and go and deliver such a person such a person who was intoxicated and who were actually getting punishment, and why would otherwise normally Krishna would go and reach out to a non-devotee or who was actually so much in mode of passion and ignorance? No, he wouldn't. Because it was Narada's mercy and his desire to reach out to devotee, he accepted and he said, okay, I will go. Otherwise, seeing Krishna's form or Krishna face to face, is it possible? It's impossible by any material condition. And here Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura has therefore recommended Vaishnava Thakura Tomara Kukhura Bhuliya Janaha More Krishna se Tomara Krishna dete para. One should desire to become like a dog in strictly following a devotee. Krishna is in the hand of a devotee. Adurlabham Atma Bhakto. Thus, without the favor of a devotee, one cannot directly approach Krishna. What to speak of engaging in some service? If we have to see Radha Gopinath, we need Ishwar Prabhu's permission. If we have to set some table, we need Prabhu's permission to open the book table. And to close off, we need Prabhu's help. And if I have to sing with a proper tune, I need Prabhu's help. So for anything, we need devotees' help. It's not easy by oneself to actually see Krishna or do some service. It is very hard. Narottam Das Thakura therefore sings, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nishtara Pai Chekeba. Unless one becomes a servant of a pure devotee, one cannot be delivered from the material condition of life. So this is verse 24 and 25. We can see that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur also supports this statement of how one should become a servant of the servant to see Krishna or to serve Krishna. Having thus spoken, this is verse 26, having thus spoken, Krishna soon entered between the two Arjuna trees, and thus the big motor to which he was bound turned crosswise and stuck between them. By dragging behind him with great force the wooden motor tied to his belly, the boy Krishna uprooted the two trees by great strength of the Supreme Person. The two trees with their trunks, leaves and branches trembled severely and fell to the ground with great crash. So you can understand that this is Damodar Leela, and this little boy is having so much power within him, cannot be normal. He has to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead to uproot such big trees. And that's what we can understand in these verses. From verse 28. Thereafter, in that very place where the two Arjuna trees had fallen, two great perfect personalities appeared like fire personified, came out of the two trees, the effulgence of their beauty illuminating in all directions. With bowed heads they offered obeisances to Krishna, and with hands folded spoke the following words. So we can understand how it would be when the trees have crashed down, two great personalities, effulgent, being bright, great personalities appear. We have seen that photos, right? Nalakuvera and Manigriva coming out of the trees, and where Lord Krishna coming crawling as though he didn't know anything, innocently. So they came out, and who was before them? This little boy whose complexion was Shyama, was darkish like Ghana. Ghana Shyama, the color of a cloud, like a fresh monsoon cloud filled with rain. He was extremely effulgent, he was extremely beautiful, and he was bound on his waist by some ropes and tied to the wooden grinding motor which is used to pull the trees apart. So there, looking at him, they understood, okay, Nalakuvera and Manigriva saw. So these are the people. This is the person? Okay, let me offer my respects to him. It's not such a small, simple boy. Let me offer my respects. So saying, they started offering their prayers. Krishna, Krishna, Mahayogims, Tvam Adya Purusha Paraha. tavyakam idam vishwam rupam te brahmana viduhu. Oh Lord Krishna, Lord Krishna. Why 2 times? Because twin brothers. So they have to say Krishna, no? So Krishna, they have covered it. So they have said it twice. Oh Lord Krishna, Lord Krishna, your opulent mysticism is inconceivable. You are supreme, the original person. What would happen if we were bound for hundreds of years and suddenly somebody comes and releases us? Yeah, you'll be so happy. So they started glorifying him from top down. And they were so impressed that somebody could even deliver us. Yeah. So they're like, you are the supreme original person, the cause of all causes, immediate and remote, and you are beyond this material creation. Learned Brahmanas know on the basis of the Vedic state, Sarvam Kalva Idam Brahma, that you are everything and that this cosmic manifestation in its gross and subtle aspects is your form. So they're saying, you are the master of all mystics, you are the powerful, all-powerful, who is capable of doing everything, and you're the root cause of everything. You know what to do to deliver us. You were the immediate and the remote cause for delivering us. Immediate was, he sent Narad Muni to actually curse them, and the remote cause was, he know previously like what is going to happen, what had happened in the past, what is happening now, and what is happening in the future. So in all ways, Krishna knows everything because he is the cause of all causes. Even this material creation was created by him. Why? Because of living entities wanted to enjoy separately from him, so he gave us a place where we can come and enjoy. And he is within each and every living entity, so he is part and parcel and of inside every living entity, and he, as a super soul, he knows what's inside the core of every living entity's heart as well. And next verse, so again they're offering the prayers. Text 30 and 31. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the controller of everything, the body, life, ego, senses, and every living entity are your own self. You are the Supreme Person, Vishnu, the imperishable controller. You are the time factor, the immediate cause, and you are material nature, consisting of the 3 modes: passion, goodness, and ignorance. You are the original cause of this material manifestation, and you are the super soul, and therefore you know everything within the core of the heart of every living entity. Sripada Madhavacharya has quoted from Vamana Purana as well. And so this is again where we mention that he's a Krishna is a controller of everything, and he's the imperishable controller, and he, living within each one of us, knows what our desires are. So we have to be watchful of what our desires are, whether we are thinking about cheating somebody or stealing from somebody or anything with intention, without intention, we have to be cautious. So again, 32, the offering of prayer continues. O Lord, you exist before the creation. Therefore, who trapped by a body of material qualities in this material world can understand you? So this verse explains how one can understand Krishna, if at all possible. As a devotee, we know that to an extent we can understand Krishna by the mercy of a devotee or by Krishna's mercy himself. Otherwise, is it possible to understand Krishna? No. And it is said, Krishna's name, his attributes and form are all absolute truth. So it is no different. If you say Krishna's name, then it means Krishna is present. So we can actually, understanding is different, but at least we can feel the presence. Maybe sometimes when we are really into chanting, then we can feel it. So like that, slowly he gives us a glimpse, maybe during festival time when we are in so much service mood. If you had done nice service, then you feel like a tinge of, he has given you a glance, you feel like a bliss coming and going. So then you feel like, yes, Krishna is reciprocating. So slowly, little by little, as and one performs devotional service with a mood to grab his attention, then he will also, Krishna will also reciprocate. So that's the idea. So slowly and steadily, if one devotee continuously performs devotional service, then we will and we can understand Krishna. It is mentioned it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 18:55 as well, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati, and it is said the best course by which to know him is to engage oneself in pure devotional activities. The more one advances in devotional activities, the more one can understand as he is. And people would ask, okay, if only devotees can see, then how come Nalakuvera and Manigriva got the opportunity to see? Again, it is because the mercy of Narada was there, and because Narada requested Krishna, Krishna actually was obliged to go and be present in front of Nalakuvera and Manigriva. And normally, with one's intelligence or with one's senses, we cannot see Krishna. Why? Because intelligence is a byproduct of mode of passion, and senses is a byproduct of mode of ignorance. So by this material modes, we cannot, or material senses, we cannot see Krishna or understand Krishna. That's why Acharya has explained that we have to transcend this material modes and get to the spiritual platform. And how is it possible? By process of chanting and by process of doing service, one can transcend that material mode and one can be situated in the transcendental platform. So, 33. O Lord, whose glories are covered by your own energy, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are Shankarshana, the origin of creation. You are Vasudeva, the origin of Chaturvyuha. Because you are everything and therefore the Supreme Brahman, we simply offer our respectful obeisances unto you. So Nalakuvera and Manigriva understood that this little boy is not normal, Krishna or Lord Damodara. They knew that he is very special, and understanding him is beyond their capacity. So they simply offered their respects, obeisances to little Krishna. But for some people, it is not easy to offer obeisances or respects to the Lord. Why? What is stopping them from paying the obeisances to the Lord? It could be because of that we are not fulfilled of. Fulfilled what? Some service? No, service, but Krishna is fulfilled and we are not fulfilled or to. So we are not up to the mark, you're saying? Yeah. Yes, in one way we are not up to the mark, because there is a sense of false pride. There is a sense that I am supreme, why should I subdue in front of him, in front of the Lord? I know everything. The lack of humility, the lack of faith that Krishna can take us back home, or lack of faith that he is everything, he is a controller, lack of faith that he is inconceivable, we cannot understand him. It is very hard for people to understand Krishna. So it is that's why it's with pride, with envy, with lack of faith, with lack of humility, it is very hard to offer our respects to the Lord. And moving on, text 34 and 35. Appearing in the bodies like those of an ordinary fish, tortoise and hog, You exhibit activities impossible for such creatures to perform. Extraordinary, incomparable, transcendental activities of unlimited power and strength. These body of yours, therefore, are not made up of material elements, but incarnations of your Supreme Personality. You are the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have now appeared with full potency for the benefit of all living entities within this material world. Now that people are determined, okay, we have to see Krishna, we have to find out how to understand and see Krishna. Now it is explained like that Krishna is coming in various forms, but do we know? If Krishna comes as a fish, would we know? Or Krishna comes as a tortoise, would we know? But when Krishna comes as a holy name, we are able to chant. We can understand, okay, if some guru or sadhu says, okay, Krishna is coming in the form of a holy name, then you will be like, okay, let me try it, and then we'll start chanting. And when sadhus explain, or a spiritual master explain that Krishna is here in the form of Vigraha, please pay obeisances and offer your respects, because it's very hard to understand him, so at least offer respects and obeisances. So that's why we see, so many times we offer our obeisances. And he appears in the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita. And hence, we are requested to understand Krishna by reading the scriptures. And if we have to read the scriptures, we need to have scriptures, right? So what do? We have to buy the book. So what do? Then we join this Bhadra campaign. So now it is, Srimad Bhagavatam is only $275 and Chaitanya Charitamrita is only $150. So let's grab a copy and then let's start to understand Krishna and let's take Krishna home. Yeah, and the other way to understand Krishna is through the words of Guru and Shastra or Sadhu. By seeing a Sadhu by seeing a spiritual master who is a representative of Krishna himself, we can understand Krishna very nicely. So these are the easy, accessible methods. Still, we miss it. Right? There's so much easy methods, but still we miss it. Krishna appears as an incarnation when real spiritual life declines and when rogues and thieves increases to disturb the situation of the world. So it is said that there are some things which we can't count. One thing is the number of mistakes that we do, or in general, whatever happens around us, there are so many mistakes, it seems. Similarly, we can't count the number of incarnations that Krishna takes in this universe. So there are so many incarnations that he takes. So it's uncountable. Text 36. O supremely auspicious, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you, who are the supreme good, O most famous descendant and controller of the Yadu dynasty, O son of Vasudeva, O most peaceful, let us offer our obeisances unto your lotus feet. Again and again they are offering their respects to the lotus feet. Why? Because wherever Krishna is, it seems there is auspiciousness. It seems the supreme good happens in that place. And yeah, Krishna, and it is also said the word Parama Kalyana is very significant here, because Krishna in any of his incarnations appears in order to protect the sadhus. Paritranaya sadhunam. The sadhu, saintly persons or devotees are always harassed.